Om. 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 Sairam, everyone. Just to recollect what we were discussing last week before we left, Swami is talking about the principle of Sanatana Dharma, which is all inclusive, and the one who is genuinely adhered to Sanatana Dharma will never harm another human being, forcing them to take up the same beliefs which they are intent on following. I think that's where Swami left, and we discussed quite a bit about that. The acceptance of every form of faith, including the primitive forms of faith among people who are neither civilized or who are living in the forests, to the advanced stage of sadhana. All of them are taking each individual according to their stage to the final goal. That's what we were discussing. So we will stop here. We will continue from where we left off. Sair.
For the Bharatiya religion fostered the faith that the self in man is no other than the overself or God. Bharatiya religion directs a long journey by men and women through varied paths, confronted and controlled by varied circumstances, but encouraged and enlightened by various types of faith towards the goal of the splendor of God consciousness or the consciousness of the divine. Though the practices and rites might appear on the surface to be crude, they are not opposed to the ultimate truth. The seeming contradictions have to be interpreted as incidental to the need to inspire people with varied intellectual, moral, economic, and social backgrounds. For example, the light that comes through a tiny piece of colored glass is of the same origin as bigger, clearer light. The extent, clarity, brightness, etc. of light depends on the medium only. The source of all light is the one truth, the source of all, the basis of all, the goal of all, the reality in all, and the center in all. As the thread on which pearls are strung as a rosary, God or the Overself is interpenetrative in all beings. In all beings. That is the message of Bharat. All beings, everywhere, anywhere.
Thank you, Kalyani. Sairam auntie, shall
Sairam.
we read the Telugu?
Yeah. It starts with Atmahatyalanu Narasimha we did last time. Atmahatyalanu.
The next line, I think.
Next
auntie.
line. Yelaina Atmane Paramatmaga Vishwasinchina Matamu Bharatiya Matamu.
Swami is actually continuing the previous sentence that Bharatiya Paramartham does not accept suicide, Atmahanti. Why so? Swami is giving the reason. Why? The reason for that is Atma itself is Paramatma. That's the belief. That's the belief of this religion, and that's the reason they do not. They condemn or they do not accept Atmahati or suicide.
Okay. నానా జాతులు స్త్రీ పురుషులు నానా విధములుగా నానా స్థితులకు లోబడి.
Okay, different races, various men and women from various kinds, according to their different stages,
ప్రయాణం మునర్చునట్లు
the way they take up their journey,
మతములన్యూ చేయు పని భౌతిక మానవుని వికాసమునకు తోడ్పడి
So all the work of all the religions is to take the worldly minded man and make him blossom, to help the blossoming of the worldly minded man.
తుదకు అతనిలోని ఈశ్వర తత్వము లేక
At the end, either the Ishvara Tattva, the principle of Ishvara,
లేక దివ్యత్వమును దీపించినట్లు చేయుటయే.
So it either enlightens or lights up the divinity or the principle of God.
భారతీయ పరమాత్మము పైకి విరుద్ధముగా తోచినను
The Bharatiya principle or Bharatiya goal, even though externally they may look very opposed to something,
పద్ధతులను నిజమునకు విరుద్ధములు కావు.
the paddhatis or the practices or the processes are not opposed to each other.
ఒక్క సత్యమే వేర్వేరు స్వభావములు గల వారి వేర్వేరు స్థితిగతులకు
each and every truth, each and every truth, depending on the types of people, according to their innate nature, according to their stages of development.
ఒక్క సత్యమే, one truth,
the only same truth, one truth.
వేర్వేరు స్వభావములు గల వారి
the same truth or one truth, according to the nature of each person, according to their stages of development.
వేర్వేరు స్థితిగతులకు అనుగుణపడుటలో
conducive to each person's state and their journey.
ఏర్పడిన వైరుధ్యములే అని గ్రహించవలెను.
These differences are resulting because it caters to various people of various kinds, though it is the same truth.
ఉదాహరణము,
for example,
భిన్న వర్ణములు గల గాజు ముక్కల ద్వారా
for the multicolored glasses,
దీప్తించు ఒకే జ్యోతి అది.
it's the same light which comes through various kinds of colored glasses.
అనుగుణ్యార్థము ఈ స్వల్ప భేదములు అవశ్యకములే కానీ
because of the conducive nature, these small differences were necessary.
సర్వమునకు మూలమై ఆధారమై గమ్యమై,
for everything, for all this, the root or the cause, the support, the basis, or the goal, or the center, the kilakam, the linchpin or pivotal pin.
కీలకమై కేంద్రమై ఒక్క సత్యమే వెలుగుచున్నది.
It's the same truth which is the center, the linchpin, the goal, the basis, support, and the cause or the root.
ముత్యాల హారములోని సూత్రము,
I think that's all they have read, auntie.
Okay sir.
Maybe
కీలకం what have they translated as?
Keelakam, they have translated it as I think you had Muktyalahara also we had read, auntie. They've said Keelakam.
Keelakam actually it's a key.
The one truth, source of all, the basis of all, goal of all, reality in all, and the center in all. I think Keelakam has been left out, but Keelakam is something which is a central pin or something like that.
Key, K-E-Y, key. It is a key, is called Keelakam.
Key, okay.
It's a key to the truth. Okay. ముత్యాల హారములోని సూత్రము,
the thread which within the pearl necklace,
సూత్రము వలె సర్వమతములందు పరమాత్ముడు సూత్ర రూపుడై ఉన్నాడు.
The same Paramatma, the Supreme Lord, is present in the entire garland of pearls as the thread which goes through all of them.
ఈ ప్రపంచ జనులందరూ
in this world, the people of all this world,
భారతీయ సంస్కృతి అధ్వర్యాన శాస్త్రములన్నింటినీ that have the. Yeah.
We have not read it, Auntie, I think.
Okay, sorry.
So, oh, I see. Oh, it's there. I think in all beings is the message of birth. All beings everywhere, anywhere.
That's the message of Bharat, all beings everywhere, anywhere.
Oh, I see. I think that's
Sentence.
that sentence. Yeah.
ఈ ప్రపంచ జనులందరూ భారతీయ సంస్కృతి అధ్వర్యాన శాస్త్రములంటిని గాలించి చూచి
Ante chintani mokshamu. I think it's a long sentence.
long sentence.
So Swami is talking about the apparent differences in the various practices and beliefs in Bharatiya. Swami says they are necessary variations depending on to cater to the needs of different people at different stages of development or different nature. That's what Swami says. I will stop here. I will open it up for anyone to comment or discuss. Saira. I guess if people feel that if everyone feels that there's no real discussion, then we can move on. Otherwise, everyone is pondering over. I will give some more.
Maybe pondering over.
Yes.
So that sentence that was saying Bharatiya Paramarthamu Paiki Viruddhamuga Tochinanu.
Yes, externally, even if it shows as different, that's what I understand.
The Bharatiya Paramartha looks different?
Yes.
It looks different outwardly. Paiki viruddhamaga chochinanu.
So in the English, they've translated that as, I think, the rites and I think rituals. Is that what it's referring to? The practices and rites might appear.
Yes, exactly. But Swami is using Paramarthamo. That means the goal of Bharatiyas.
Yeah. That sentence, the practices and rites might appear on the surface to be crude. To be crude, they have written, but it's viruddham, opposed. It should be opposed.
Oh, I see. Okay.
పద్ధతులు నిజమునకు విరుద్ధములు కావు. That's it. That crude word.
I don't know. It's a bit crude.
Maybe.
It's more like rough, right? You would say. May seem
But,
more rough.
no, in Telugu, there Swami has not mentioned about any crudity.
But Viruddha is almost like a little heavy word, right? Viruddham.
Yes.
Opposed.
Viruddham. Viruddham means that which is opposed or different. Or diverging or something like that also you can see. Opposed. Opposed is a better word, I guess. Yes, Sister Aruna. Pardon?
No, he could use some soft words. I think Viruddham, I felt like it's a little stressful.
But I don't know whether, I don't think they are not opposed. That's what he said. Surface to be crude. I don't know why that word was used.
Okay.
Yes, Sister Aruna.
Hi, Ram, brother. Can you just clarify the first sentence here, please? The faith that the self in man that is no other than this overself. What is the overself for God?
See, Atman is the same as Paramatma.
Yeah.
That's all. So I think that's good enough. Don't worry too much about the English word used.
Actually, it is Atmane Paramatmaga Vishwasinchina.
Atmane Paramatma. Okay.
It is Paramatma.
I think in English there's no equivalent word, so I think they choose some word just to. I don't think Paramatma is over self. But the supreme Atma, you can say at the most. Anyone else would like to?
So what is that is trying to tell us? It's
So it's talking about the previous sentence, sister. Bharatiya Samskriti does not accept suicide, Atmahatya, or it does not believe in killing oneself, because the self itself is Paramatma. So because of that, it is not part of Sanatana Dharma principle, because the self can never be killed.
yeah.
Because Atma itself is Paramatma. When that's the belief of Sanatana Dharmians, they do not.
Okay. I
Okay,
got it. Thank you.
so it's related to the previous sentence.
That sentence about the Viruddha Mukha is, so it's referring to the different practices in Sanatana Dharma, though they may appear to be like opposed to each other. They're not really opposed. Is that what?
Yes, that's my understanding, Kalyani. Opposed, contrary, contradictory, inconsistent, all those meanings come for the word vriddham. So the fact is that even though they may seem opposed, even if you take Advaita and Dvaita, both are considered Vedantas. Okay, but Swami would say all three others are talking about the same thing. On the surface, one is saying Advaita, means there's no Dvaita. Then the other one is saying Dvaita. So even if you take those two philosophies, they seem exactly opposed to each other. So people can say, how can the same religion have two exactly opposed views? One says Dvaita, duality, the other one says there is non-duality. So it seems it's a difference. One is opposed to the other. However, both are accepted as Sanatana Dharma because both of them talking about the same principle, which is the Atman. I think which Swami has already spoken about. I don't know whether here or in many discourses Swami has mentioned that. So, as Brahma Sutra is a Samanvaya is the only solution.
Brother,
That means there should be harmony across all faiths. Ultimately, the harmonious relationship between all these apparently opposed views is Sanatana Dharma. Only through that one can even attain Brahman. I think.
Yeah.
So, brother, can you please elaborate that Advaita and Dvaita as coming to a one point? Can you
Okay,
please?
so I will start. I will
It's
ask.
Sanatana Dharma talk about the one thing, but it takes you to the same thing, kind of. How you will elaborate on that, please, little bit more?
Okay, I will. Anyone else would like to? I don't want to be talking all the time. So anyone else who would discuss Dvaita, Advaita, and how Swami says, yes, Sai Ram. Go ahead, Sai Satish, please.
So just elaborating on what Anna was mentioning, I think the other day, last week, I think, or the week before, discourse, Swami talks about Advaita, Vishishtadvaita, and Dvaita. So Swami says about how Shankaracharya had propagated Advaita, how Ramanujacharya had come with Vishishtadvaita, and then we have Madhvacharya come in with Dvaita. Apparently, at superficial level, they seem contradictory because one talks about only the one and only absolute, the other talks about something that is emerging from the absolute, and Dvaita, of course, there is both the devotee and the Lord. But ultimately, if we see, the essence is the Lord is the absolute, and whether we take all the three philosophies of Advaita, Vishishtadvaita, or Dvaita, they are based on that absolute, which says that based on that absolute, based on that Purusha, how we have the Prakriti emerge. And so one is just the Purusha, other is seeing the Prakriti within the Purusha, and third is seeing Prakriti and Purusha as separate. But in all the three aspects, what is the basis is the Purusha or the Atman, and everything is based on that. And that is where possibly for a child, like how initially when the child is given food that is easier to digest before it moves on to, or even as it's weaned away from the mother's milk to something that is easily palatable and then go on to eating rice. For a seeker who is progressing, initially for them to directly perceive Advaita is difficult. And that is where if they start with Dvaita, then move on to Vishishta Advaita and then to Advaita, it will anyway lead them to the absolute. But it is more seen from how a seeker is progressing. Based on it is like as many seekers, those many paths. That is where the Sanatana Dharma is there, where Swami is again saying here also that the underlying thread for all those precious gems that are being connected is the Lord. That is where even all the different philosophies that have emerged in the Sanatana Dharma, they are based on the fundamental, that is the Atman, and it is more of exposition based on that, which apparently makes it look different, but they are all one and the same. Sairam.
Thank you very much, Sai.
Thank you, thank you.
Yes, Brother Tarsan, please go ahead.
Yes, Sairam, brother. Add to the point, brother. So regarding, first I'm coming to the oppose thing. Sanatana Dharma, some people oppose how you pray. For an example, if you go to the temple or Shirdi temple, they keep the statue and they do the ritual things more. But when you come to Sai Center, we don't have mainly we focus on the bhajans and we meditate those kind of things. So, but both are different, but still our main focus is same, self-realization. Because the people are praying in a different way according to their knowledge and their customs. So now I come to Advaita and Dvaita. So I can take the river, how the river originated from the ocean. So it's going to merge with the ocean. Then again, there's no difference. When we're looking at that one, we are looking at the river and the ocean. Once you merge with the thing, there's no difference. Same thing, that Atma is the one, is the Paramatma, even Jiva, within the Jiva, that Atma is Paramatma, Swami saying here. So we are looking at, even though the form is different, but the Atma is the one base. Even though we are looking at Dvaita stage, but when you're looking at the Advaita stage, everything we have to look at that as oneness. Thank you, Saira.
Thank you very much, brother. Thank you. Anyone else would like to add any points?
Sairam,
Yes, Auntie.
these contradictions appeared not only within Paramartha, within our Sanatana Dharma, and contradictions, the rites and practices, what we do here in our Hindu Dharma, it was not available in other religions. When we compare with other religions, our rites, our practices are quite different from what the others do. So though it looks superficially very, very different, even the other religions also are pointing towards only one God. That's what I feel that also to be included. Not only the difference within our Dvaita, Advaita, Vishishtadvaita, but the other with other religions also, when we compare, our practices are quite contradictory to other religions' practices. Saira.
Thank you very much, Auntie. Thank you. So yeah, so Sanatana Dharma is the fountain for all religions, all faith system. I think which Swami has already touched in the original. Swami says it's like the river which flows. There are same water has collected in small ponds, and that's of other religions also. So Sanatana Dharma is that which nourishes and feeds all faith systems around the world. So as Auntie said, even those contradictions are also apparent contradictions, but we all believe they are praying to the same God.
Yeah.
I think that's the belief.
Yeah.
So we do not think that a Christian is praying to a different God or a Muslim is praying to a different God. But there may be certain religions or certain practices, they will think, oh, their God is different from our God. That kind of thinking is not there in Sanatana Dharma, I think, which is what Swami is saying.
Okka satyame వేర్వేరు స్వభావంలో గలవారి వేర్వేరు స్థితిగతులకు అనుగుణ పడుట్లో ఏర్పడిన వైరుధ్యములే అని గ్రహించవలెను. These apparent contradictions have to be accepted in such a way that only to bring out the differences in human nature, according to them, these our other religions also have been
instituted or come to be.
Yeah, they have come into existence.
Thank you. And Swami has given a nice example of these colored glasses, these mosaic colored glasses through which when the light passes, you will see different colors of the same light. And so Swami is referring to that as the example. Just because of the color of the glass through which the light passes, it seems different, but it's identical light which actually is flowing through. So if all of us are okay, maybe we can.
Just that next sentence, I have written down, because of the conducive nature, these small differences were necessary.
Anugunya means, that which is supportive, conducive.
And one word was little bit for me when I was reading in Telugu. Tudakatani atanilo. I had to divide the word Tudaku ataniloni.
Yes.
When I divide that word, I was just wondering what this word would be. And after reflecting, it should be like that.
In conclusion,
Or
at the end, it means ultimately or something like that.
Tudaku means ultimately. Atani.
So ultimately, they are leading to the lighting of, Deepichu means it's sort of enlightening the divine principle or the supreme reality. That's. So I think ultimately may be a good word, no?
Yeah.
So, I think that's why as not opposed, ultimate truth is also used in here in the translation in one place. So Kalyani, are you okay?
Eventually will work or no? Sorry.
Kalyani? Oh, no, for the conducive nature part, is it meaning in order to be conducive to people of various kinds of...
So the differences are due to, according to each person's nature, so that it will agree, accepted to each person. I think that's, let me read, Auntie. Anugunyarthamu.
Anugunyarthamu. Anugunyarthamu. Conducive. Ee swalpa bedamalu avasyakamule. They were necessary. Kani sarvanuku, then the sentence goes like that. Anugunyarthamu. Yeah. Anugunyarthamu.
Convenient.
You can say. Well, yeah, convenient also we can say. Generally convenience, I didn't use it because it's sometimes used as a sort of negative. So like in philosophy, that's, but it's basically, it's suitable for their, I think suitable also is okay, I guess.
Suitable.
So the same truth appears to have these small differences in order to make it conducive to different people at different stages?
Yes.
Exactly.
Okay, so if there's anything else?
Examine carefully all the texts and scriptures that deal with Bharatiya culture and traditions. Find out whether in any of them there is mention that moksha or liberation or the highest realization is available to those who are Bharatiyas only and not to others. Can you produce a single statement along those lines? It can be emphatically asserted that you cannot discover a statement like that. Bharatiya spiritualism has limitless vastness and immensely high ideals. It is a full stream of sanctifying ideations, flowing along with no decline or diminution, straight and smooth to the ocean of divine grace. The journey is direct along a royal road toward the supreme goal.
Thank you, Claire. Auntie, we can read.
ఈ ప్రపంచ జనులందరూ
All the people in this world, creation,
భారతీయ సంస్కృతి ఆధ్వర్యాన ఆధ్వర్య హియర్
Advarya means I looked up.
we come across this word advarya
Administrative.
While making a yaga. There are 4 people sitting in 4 directions. One is advaryu, yajamana, brahma, and then another one is I forget the name. So these advaryu, I have come across this advaryana here. What does that?
The Finns, actually, it's conceptual depending on the context of philosophy. Advaryana Shastram, and the philosophical texts, you can say.
Yeah.
Philosophical texts of Bharatiya
Sanskrit. Okay.
Samskriti.
Advaryana శాస్త్రములన్నింటినీ గాలించి
If you examine all the spiritual philosophical texts of Bharatiyas, Galinchi Chuchi means if you investigate and see, check.
Filter பண்றது. Filtering.
Galinchi Chuchi means you basically inquire, dissect and see everywhere. You basically sift all of them.
Sifting, yeah.
Sifting and see.
అందు ఎచ్చటైనను మోక్షము భారతీయమునకు మాత్రమే లభించును.
You will not find that the only for Bharatiya people liberation is assured.
ఇతరులకు లభించదు అని చెప్పబడి ఉన్నదేమో చూపునింటూ.
No one else will be able to attain it if it cannot be seen.
అల్ల మోక్షము భారతీయులకు మాత్రమే లభించును, ఇతరులకు లభించదు అని చెప్పబడి ఉన్నదేమో చూపునిండు. Show me where it is.
So can you show? Can you show? Cheppagalara? Can anyone show any statement in the Shastras of the Bharatiyas that liberation is only the exclusive property of Bharatiyas and others are not entitled to it? Can you show? Swami is challenging.
చూపలేరని గట్టిగా చెప్పవచ్చు.
We can say that they will never be able to show a statement like that.
భారతీయ పరమార్థము మహావిశాల భావాలతో.
Swami says emphatically it can be stated. That's the previous sentence. Yeah. Then now Swami says Bharatiya Paramarthamu. The Bharatiya supreme goal is very expansive. Mahavishala.
భావాలతో
expansive feelings.
ఉన్నత ఆశయములతో.
So by very noble goals or ideals. Noble ideals.
పవిత్ర తలంపులతో.
With pure thoughts.
ప్రవహించిన వాహిని.
It's a river which flows like that.
మలుపులేక కలత కాక.
Malupuleka means it is no blemishes, no dirts. No dirts, no
kalata ante
acrimonious tendencies or appadi auntie.
Kalata na mixed with feeling
Kalti.
Diluted, something like okay.
Karataka anugraha sagamunaku chakkani baataga.
It is a path which is supreme path, which is confers grace, and it's an ocean like. It's a path to the ocean of grace, which is blemishless and which is not diluted. Or what does they say?
చక్కని బాటగా ఏర్పడిన రాజబాట. It's a royal highway.
It's a royal path to the ocean of God's grace.
ఇంకొకటి one more.
I think that's all, Auntie.
அப்படிయా? Okay. Limitless, vastless. Yeah, vastness.
Yeah. Mahavish.
The journey is directed towards royal road, towards.
So Swami is telling the royal path of the Bharatiyas does not say anything. Is only the privilege of only Bharatiyas to attain, merger with God or liberation. It's so vast and expansive to include every form of belief. That's what Swami says. And you cannot find any statement in the Bharatiya scriptures to this effect. Swami has challenged and said, we can emphatically state that such statements cannot be found.
Moksha is not only for Bharatiyas. I mean, it is for all. It's for all.
I think Swami is sort of contrasting many faiths in the world,
Yeah.
which exclusively only these tribes are allowed for something, or only people who believe in my form of worship will be liberated, others will go to eternal hell.
Eternal hell.
Things like that are stated. Swami says in the Bharatiya tradition, one cannot find even a single statement in any of the Shastras. And then he's saying they are all unnatas, the highest ideals and very pure thoughts are the, which make up this river which flows to the ocean of grace, which is another royal road also, Swami said. So I will stop here. If anyone would like to.
Brother Sai Ram, just my thinking, I don't know whether that's right or not. See, the Bharatiyas, we learn that how they live their life, right? So it's not particularly for that nation or that particular land, people who are living there. It's for people who are living outside, also whoever follows that culture, the whatever it says stated for that, right? So here also it's saying the same thing, am I right? So anybody can realize, then that is that statement, and anybody can realize the God thing. I'm just little confused over there where this something is not
Why,
connecting.
sister? See, Swami has the statement which Swami has made. Who is a Bharatiya? I think we discussed in our discourse recently, where Swami is saying Bharatiya is not someone who is born in Bharat. But the mother of a Bharatiya is the culture of Bharat. Bharatiya culture is the mother.
And the nation is
and the father is a Bharatiya nation also.
Yes.
Whoever accepts these two in their life and leads a life according to this faith is a Bharatiya. That's what Swami has said. So that means the Bharat as a nation has to be given importance as a source of that knowledge, number one. Number two, the Bharatiya culture one has to accept to be called as a Bharatiya. So these are the two. And I think the essence of Bharatiya culture, Swami has nicely explained to us.
Yes.
That, they are all inclusive. They believe that everyone can follow their own path and reach the same Lord. We are all worshipping the same God. Don't force your faith on anyone else. So these are, Swami has already talked. What are the types of, what's the culture of Bharat? The reality is that Bharat as a nation also Swami always emphasized, because that nation is filled with such people who have this kind of a thinking in a large numbers, and that has kept it sustained over centuries. And I think there are other discourses where Swami said that's why God always incarnates in Bharat. So that's what Swami has said. That means, according to him, if he keeps that engine, which is Bharata country, where this culture is maintained, then the rest of the world will also benefit from it. So I think that's where the nation Swami has always given importance to. But I think anyone who believes that nation is the father for that thought and the culture of the Bharatiya is followed, they are all Bharatiyas. That's my understanding from a discourse. I think we can send it to others.
Yes, that is the one. I understand that point, but why Swami is then saying, I'm just trying to understand only, please. Why then those who are Bharatiyas only, not others? Swami, which one Swami is saying, referring to others who also cannot? Swami says others also can realize it, right?
Yeah, that's
So whoever not following the culture of the Bharatiyas. So that means Swami is trying to define something else also. If you do that, you also become like a Bharatiyas to realize it, kind of. Am I right or not?
Yes.
Yes, right?
Yes,
Ar-
Auntie, please go ahead.
Aruna,
Yes,
that
yes.
sentence, find out whether in any of our scriptures, is there any mention about that moksha is available only for Bharatiyas? No, and not to others. Is there any statement like that? Can you produce a single statement in those lines? Swami is asking. So he doesn't say that moksha is not for others. It is for everybody. That's what the sentence means. It gives out that meaning. I think.
Thank you.
No, is
I'm
it
trying
okay?
to understand who is
Auntie,
everyone.
see, Auntie, I think find out whether the liberation is to Bharatiyas only and not to others. So the thing is, sister, what
Yeah.
you're asking is,
Yeah.
even if they do not subscribe to Bharatiya culture,
Yes, that's what I'm asking.
the other
Who are the people those are?
Bharatiya culture does not tell that they will not attain moksha.
Not tell. Okay, they
Ah,
will.
See, if somebody does not accept Bharatiya culture,
Okay, they will not.
if they don't lead the same life, they don't even include Bharati, they will say, you guys all, you will go to hell. If
Okay,
such
okay.
people say also,
Okay.
we do not fight with that also. We should not fight. As Bharati, I will not fight with that also.
Condemn.
We will not condemn it. He will not say, oh, what you are saying is not right. That
So
you,
the
because
way
you are
they
saying this,
Bharatiyas live, they will follow in future or one point of time.
We don't know.
we don't know. They
We
may
don't.
also go.
Okay.
We don't know. They may also get liberated before us.
Yeah, okay.
So, okay. But here, Swami is only talking about people. Bharatiyas should know for themselves that if you want to be a Bharatiya, you should not say this. If you want to be a Bharatiya,
Yeah, you don't. Yeah.
don't say this. That's all it is. I think it's only from that context it matters
Okay.
to us.
On that context, it makes sense. Yeah.
Okay, only that context. Don't worry about what others do.
Yeah,
Please
that's the
follow.
thing. So what is then others also can liberate it mean they don't need to follow Bharatiya culture then. So
no.
there is something Swami is trying to tell. But as you say, Bharatiyas won't tell, then makes sense.
That's all.
Yes. Thank you.
Okay. So this is for us to know whether we are Bharatiyas. Okay, I think that's yes. Yes, Brother Dasan, please go ahead.
Yes, Sairam, brother. So if we take the books that written in Bharatiya culture, like Bhagavad Gita, Mahabharata, and Ramayanam, they all are towards royal path for supreme goal. So there's no doubt at all. But that books doesn't say only for Bharatiya. Anyone can follow that. It doesn't emphasize only for Hindus. Anybody can in the world, anybody can follow and achieve the goal. Thank you, Brother Saira.
Thank you, brother. Yes, Sai Satish, please go ahead.
Sorry, Ramana. I was just going to say that the greatness of Bharatiya culture lies in the fact that it doesn't proclaim itself as the greatest. And by saying that any person, so long as their yearning is there towards God, they can take that path as their highway to reach God. It only supports that fact and doesn't condemn or put down anybody taking any other path, which itself reflects the greatness in terms of, I think, being the democracy of, in terms of being the greatest democracy for propagating the devotee's journey towards the Lord. Any path can be taken so long as that intensity of love and devotion is there. So I think in terms of reiterating that it alone is not the highway to God, it shows how great it is in encompassing other belief systems and at the same time promoting them as well.
Thank you, Sai Satish. So I also thought I would mention, in the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna goes on explaining to Arjuna so many things. At the end, he says, I've told you whatever I've said, but you can do as you see. I will leave the choice to you. This is what, in my opinion, you can do whatever you want.
Ide na matamu. Ide na matamu. Matamu.
Matamu. I think so. That's the way I think. Matir Mama, the Sanjay. So this is my thought. You can do as you please. So you can see even God doesn't, Krishna whom we worship as God also doesn't say, you have to do this. So that's, as Sai Satish said, ultimate democracy. Okay.
Sairam,
Please.
in the sentence, Bharatiya Samskriti Advaryana, expect that word Advaryana, Shastramulanitani Ganinchi.
Advaryana Shastramu. I think Advaryana is, I think
what Bharatiya Samskriti Advaryana, Shastramulanitani Galinchi. That sentence, it's a different word there. Bharatiya Samskriti Advaryana, in Bharatiya Samskriti Advarya.
I think what I'm thinking, maybe even if you look at all the scriptures under the belt of Bharatiya Sanskriti, even though you would not find any sentence like that. It was just saying, in the umbrella of all Bharatiya Sanskriti, any small book that may be counted as a Bharatiya Sanskriti, there also you won't find it. A big book also you will not find it under the umbrella of Bharatiya Sanskriti. Maybe that's what he was. Adharya, maybe he was talking about under umbrella of Bharatiya Sanskriti, in the name of Bharatiya Sanskriti.
Auntie, I looked up the meaning. It's under the direction or by the guidance.
Okay. By the guidance.
So what?
I was completely.
All the Shastras which are guided by the Bharatiya Samskriti.
Okay. That we have to take it that way. Yeah. I had come across that word Advaryu.
Yes. So he's the person in charge,
He is the one.
Thing, he oversees everything.
Yeah, he recites Rigveda's mantra.
So under the officialdom of Bharatiya Samskriti, like that, so whatever, our Bharatiya Samskriti, I think how have they translated? I'm just saying.
No, they're not. No.
Yeah, examine carefully all the texts and scriptures that deal with Bharatiya culture. That's the way it has been translated. But Advaryana means whatever is under the authority of Bharatiya, something like that.
Bharatiya Samskriti Advaryana Shastramulanitini Galinchi.
So it's basically whatever is acknowledged by the Bharatiya Samskriti as Shastras. You can examine all of them.
Sifting after them, filtering them, and the Yachataina Mokshamu Bharatiyanuku Matrame Labinchanu.
At no point, no place, at any place, you will not find something.
Find this.
I just have a question about the previous slide where Swami is talking about how the one truth appears seemingly contradictory because you have to cater to people at different stages. So I think we come across some, similar sorts of seeming contradictions when we study Swami's discourses or Vahini's as well. Like where Swami might say one thing here, something a little bit different there. So how do we determine what stage we are in and which one applies to us?
Very good question, Kalyani. So I will open it up for anyone to say. Swami seems to be saying sometimes apparently contradictory statements. How do we know which statement and how do we follow? I think that's the question, Kalyani. And which is suitable for us, and then take that up. I think that's the question which Kalyani is asking. So I will open it up. So let's not go into the Shastra. What about the instructions of Swami himself? How do we follow that? Saira. Yes, Brother Rasan. Go ahead.
So, okay, we are doing most of the time, we are doing that, say, learning Vedas, singing bhajan, and reading scriptures. It's all about Lord. We are finding about His glory. Then that will bring us the knowledge and the love. So we are, if you want to self-realization, either bhakti or jnana or karma. So we are in the path of mainly in the jnana path. Also, we are doing other stuff too. We are cultivating love. We are understanding whatever we are doing the spiritual side, and we are progressive way. Thank you, Saira. Even though
Saira.
some people can criticize, we are doing different way. But for us, this is the path we are learning. If once you go to the Sai Center, you can see 1 hour. We don't move any other places. We concentrate one thing. So in that way, this is our path. We are selected. So nobody won't going to contradict or anything. Thank you.
Sairam.
Saira, please.
Just I think recently we learned about a mother giving diet to a child who is not able to digest hard food, so she gives soft food to the child, and the other child who is able to digest things, she will give proper food. So such being the case among the devotees also, some of us are able to understand what, even though there is apparent contradiction in Swami's statements, we may take the essence of it in different ways. I feel Swami sometimes totally contradictory statements we come across in his discourses, what Kalyani is trying to say. I think it is catering to the needs of a different devotees. I feel so, Saira.
Thank you very much, Auntie. Anyone else would like to discuss?
Just to add to Sairam, just to add to what Auntie said, I was just thinking along the same line. And then what you said, brother, a while ago, if we are a true aspirant, like complete democracy, we know where we are. There's nobody can judge more than I can judge myself, who I am, where I am, what is more applicable. So I guess if we are truly looking to progress in our path, yes, we might come across, but we have to see what is more applicable. Exactly what Auntie is saying, but we are our own judge. We have to judge our own, the path, the journey, the progress, and then take me to the next level. Just try it out.
Thank you, sister. Thank you. Yes, Brother Sai Satish.
Saramana. So there was this one incident that happened where Swami was giving discourse, and during the discourse, Swami mentioned there are all this youth who simply keep sitting and keep telling that in the name of Namasmrana, they keep turning their rosary beads. They should go and do seva, they should do service and all of that. Swami told in that discourse, and there was this group from I think Bombay or one of these places, a group of youth who actually Swami had directly told them to do like this Namasmarana and Japam. So they would sit whenever they come there and they would keep doing this. So the next day onwards, it became a problem for this group because when they would sit there and keep moving their rosaries, everybody will start looking at them. In light of the discourse, Swami just gave the previous day, like where Swami has clearly said. And this happened for a couple of days, and I think everybody's eyes were becoming more focused on them, and they were really confused. Like, what is it that they should do? Like Swami had told them that they should be doing Namasmarana and Japam and all of this. And here in the discourse in public, Swami told that you should be actually doing seva and not simply sitting and chanting God's name. It seemed like a complete contradiction to what Swami said, and they were at a loss. And of course, after that, it continues that Swami subsequently called them for another interview and then told them, for you, this is the path of chanting Lord's name and doing that even as you're doing other activities. So they continued on with it. But then we can say, oh, they were very lucky. Like for them directly, Swami told, okay, this is your path. Whereas what is my lot? When Swami tells one thing in one discourse and another in another Vahini, which one am I to follow? But many times have I asked myself the question, have I followed it enough before I pass anything? Because I'm looking for like any quick result. I'm looking for something that I can try and that will immediately give me the kind of result to move on. And I possibly try that for some time. I say, oh, actually, this may not be giving the thing. Maybe it's the other thing. So ultimately, what finally it comes down to is in terms of like unity of thought, word, and deed, or like what Shirdi Baba would say, Shraddha and Saburi. In terms of that faith and perseverance, even if we pick any one single thing of Swami, Swami says, okay, don't waste time, talk less, don't waste food. Can I pick one thing of what Swami has said and follow it with that intensity, not for 1 week, not for 1 month, not for 1 year, follow it for such a long time, then that truth itself, that one single thing itself can lead us to the ultimate. We know the story of that thief who attends a satsang, and in that one satsang, he hears that if you can follow one thing, that will lead you to God. So he decides he will speak the truth. And we know that whole story of how he continues to go for his robbery, but he meets with the king. Ultimately, they share that loot and all of that peace. And finally, because of that, speaking that one truth which he held on to, as always following that, he could become the treasurer of that kingdom. So it is about, it seems contradictory in nature, but the question finally comes down to, can I pick one thing and hold on to that firmly, which that itself will lead to another, and the intensity, the frequency with which I stay, how long do I stay with that faith and perseverance and forbearance or shama, that itself, because Swami would say, like, I think we have discussed this in other places also, like Shama Satya, Shama Satyam, Shama Dharma, all of that, like how that kind of forbearance or with that wherewithal, if we stick on to that one aspect which we hold on to, even if we feel in some other thing contradictory, ultimately that one thing can lead us to Swami. It is with that intensity that we hold on to that truth, because that has also come from Swami. So seemingly contradictory, but in the fundamental basis, it has come from the same source. So if we hold on to the source, we will go to the source. Sairam.
Thank you very much, Sai Satish. Anyone else would like to add?
Brother, is it okay for you to say the question again, please?
So the Kalyani's question is, sometimes there are apparent contradictions in what Swami says. Okay. So the question is, so there are two opposed instructions from Swami. Maybe we have read, come across or whatever. So now, which one do we follow? Which is suitable for us? Because they seem to be opposite. Then the example which Sai Satish gave was that there was a group of people to whom Swami has told, do japam. And then Swami told in a discourse, people are just doing japam, they should be going and doing some seva. So these people are now confused. Is the first instruction right or this instruction right? What do we follow? What is needed for us and what is necessary for us? So how can we choose what to do is the question Kalyani has posed. This is a doubt which all of us will have at different points in time. Do we do seva or do you sing bhajans? Do you do meditation or do you yogasana? Okay, things like that people ask. So which one do we follow?
Based on the
How do we know what is suitable for us? Yes.
I think for me, on my perspective, I can say, based on the contentment, how you content with that, and how much you are happier, and by following certain way, I think everyone's perspective is going to be different. You cannot compare. So in that perspective, it's as Sister Shivani mentioned, you are the own judge. You have to see is that working for you, and you are seeing within you the contentment and happiness. That is the path I think that particular person has to follow. Thank you, Sarah.
Can you repeat, sister? I was not. Can you repeat? I was a bit confused.
So this is not you asking because of I'm asking you to
No.
I'm just joking.
I know.
I'm just saying because it's all how you experience within yourself. If you are content with something and you are happy with that, is giving you happiness within you, then you continue that. You don't try to compare with others and try to imitate on that. Maybe for their state of mind, that also Swami covered in the previous day. Everyone thinks differently. That's why there's a contrast there. But ultimately, it will take you to the one point. It's the same thing here. So in any spirituality, I think when we are following something, it's for your own sake. And if you are content and if you're happy with what you understand and following, so I will say that is the path you have to be. Like, if you are not happy, then find out. Everything is within you only. It's nothing to compare and learn from. Learning is just for your understanding purpose, but how you practice and experience is within you. That's how I will take it. Thank you, Saira.
Thank you. So based on your personal experience, and we can continue what we are doing is what you're saying.
Yes, brother.
So are you saying that we should ignore what Swami has said?
Oh, no. Swami has
Because
said
see, we can be.
everything is based on their state of mind. Swami's one point I heard of one student was saying, Swami said, why didn't you speak up when the other person is going with the chapel inside? Why didn't you tell it? One person says softly, one person said very rudely. So based on their state of mind and that only Swami and the devotee knows. So that's how I would. Thank you, Saira.
Okay. Yes, Sister Shivani, please go ahead.
Just to add to this discussion, and this is my personal thing, I heard that sometimes Swami has said to some devotees, you're not going to very sattvic food, and others he has never said anything, or they continue on that because the journey, he doesn't want them to be on eating sattvic first. They have to choose other path to become a better person, then they can concentrate. Otherwise, so many contradictions when I read. And this was my initial conflict. I used to eat egg for years and years, and knowing that, I was just pacifying myself. But Bhagawan has given different paths. So maybe I'm one of those who can eat egg. But deep down, I knew that I need to give up. But then I'm convincing myself, oh, I need protein to live. I'm this and that. It has been like struggle, not the struggle, but sometimes sitting back reflecting, oh, it's okay, health is important, otherwise you can't take his name. And Bhagawan has said to some devotees to eat, and contradicting not. However, of course, with the help of this study circle, 3-4 years, whatever I have internalized, within a day, I don't know what came to my mind. Within a day, and I just gave up. I said, no, that's not this is not going to help me. Though I was thinking about that last 5-10 years, I was meditating literally on that. Oh, it's fine, it's fine. But it didn't take me 24 hours to give up. Just overnight, I said, no, this is not the right thing to do. So I'm just saying the practical is, yes, within yourself, how far, where you are. Of course, if you're sincere, and that's why I made that commitment. If you're sincere, truthful to yourself, and hold on to his teachings, he will, he might contradict, but he will help you to be on the right path. Sairam.
Thank you very much, sister. Thank you. I think were you meditating on the egg? That's what
No, meditating means I was no. Reflecting, I should use the word reflecting.
Okay, thank you, sister. Thank you. Yeah. Sister Narmada.
Saram, I just wanted to add to what Sister just mentioned, because I have heard that also a lot of people would say, Swami said this to some devotees in the interview, and Swami said that, and it's very contradicting, right? So I always think that if Swami wants us to, telling us something, he usually says it in the Vahinis or in the discourses. If he's telling something to some like certain devotees in the interviews and all that, it is just for them. So that doesn't mean he just told something to someone in the interview. It's for everybody, right? So that's how I take it. And also, like Sister said, that Swami will guide us what is right, what is wrong, even like when we have the faith, even if there's some of the things that we listen are very contradicting. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sister. Anyone else would like to share anything? So maybe I will try. I think I went back to Sandeha Nivarani. In Sandeha Nivarani, I think chapter 11, chapter 11. Swami is talking about obstacles of the present, obstructions of the present. In that obstructions of present, Swami is saying there are 4 types. One is attachment to sense objects, Vishya Asakti. Cynical criticism, which is Kutarkam. Then Swami says dullness of understanding and absurd conceit. Those are the 4 obstructions. So the third one is dullness of understanding. What Swami says is the third causes confusion because things explained by the Guru are not grasped at all. If we think that there's contradiction and we are unable to reconcile both and understand what, we cannot give up one of the instructions, but he has given another instruction which actually should complete our understanding. So that means we have to spend a little more time trying to understand that one is not opposed to the other, but how do we practice both of them in a reconciled manner. Why Swami forces us to do this? That's the way we understand, I think, better understanding of the instructions themselves. See, if Swami says do japa, and then he is doing do seva, then we should not say, oh, we are not going to do seva. But he's not telling don't give up japa also. He'll say you cannot do japa without doing service, you may not benefit. You can do seva, but you are not doing japa, then that will also not benefit. So I think that is, we have to somehow integrate the instructions of Swami. Through that, our understanding of the previous instruction will be much more fulfilled. Will be improved, is my understanding. So if we have confusion, nothing wrong with it. But we have to spend time to understand, did we understand the previous instructions wrong, or did we not understand it properly? Because every statement of Swami, every instruction of Swami is a complementary thing. It is not a negation. See, for example, today, I don't know, now only we are reading today, when I got up in the morning, the first thought was, does Swami change his instructions? Something in my dream, something caught up. So the instruction, so I got up and I said, sometimes Swami gives opposite. Does he change his mind? Why this thought came up was in the first World Conference of Swamis. In the first Sri Sathya Sai Organization World Conference, Swami says every Sathya Sai devotee should learn Sanskrit. Children and elders. Okay. Then there are many people say, oh, that Swami said, then Swami changed. There are people who have told me also that.
Should learn what, brother? Sorry?
Sanskrit.
Sa-
Sanskrit, every adult, it is a primary duty of every Sathya Sai Center to make sure that they provide facilities for adults and children to learn Sanskrit. This is a statement. You can take 1968 May. You can take the discourse and read. Because I remember that because my father read it and he made sure that we went and learned Sanskrit. So that's how I remember it. But has Swami changed? So then the idea came, sometimes people say Swami changed Loka Samasta to Samasta Loka. This is standard, everyone will say. So then is Loka Samasta wrong? Should he change only Samasta Loka? So this is sometimes raging controversy. Did Swami change? I think that's the question. The question is, Loka Samasta and Samasta Loka means the same thing.
Same thing.
But the thing is, Swami wanted to stress the importance of Samasta, which people were forgetting. So he said, put it in the front and think about it more. It is not that Loka Samasta was wrong. You are not paying attention to the word Samasta. So you put it in the front and said Samasta is more important. Include everything should be included. All the worlds, not only your world, not only your country. So just to give a certain emphasis that was told, it is not that Loka Samasta is wrong. You can even still chant Loka Samasta. That's why millions are chanting today also, But the thing is, Swami wants to emphasize on the word Samasta. That means you include everything all over the world, all the worlds. That should be your expansive understanding. So the instruction is only complementary, it is not a negation. Then there are people say, oh, you are chanting it wrong. Don't chant it Loka Samasta. We can't tell that. That means we have not understood what Swami said. So I think it is lack of understanding can cause problem. Swami will never make a contradictory statement. He will only make a complementary statement which will make the meaning whole, because we have not understood the first instruction properly. That's my understanding.
Brother, what is the complementary for the Sanskrit Swami said? First one, he asked to everyone.
Swami has never said no, sister.
Okay.
They will say
That's
only
what.
in first. See what arguments people say is first world conference he said, but afterwards he did not mention it.
Okay. That is
Things
the
like
thing.
that.
Yes.
No, Swami has throughout all the discourses. I can pull out at least 100 instances from 1968 to 2000 and see. Everyone says Swami has told everyone to chant Rudra. If you ask them, they will say in 2006 Swami said. Have people studied that discourse? The previous sentence to that statement is everyone should learn Sanskrit and everyone should learn Rudra. Okay, this is Swami's instruction. But we pick and choose one. So what Swami told in 1968, Swami repeated in 2006. But no one has even read the discourse. Everyone wants to learn Rudram, but they have not listened to what exactly Swami said. So it's a problem, our problem. There are people who say we can learn Rudram, but Swami has said learn Sanskrit. Because without learning it, you can't learn Rudram. So what I'm saying is Swami never contradicts his statement, because what he has said is truth, Satyam, Trikalabhatyam. It will never change. But it's our understanding which may be incomplete and we can be confused. Sorry, I took too long to...
No, or we interpret to our convenience.
That's
That's what I did, because I said, oh, he said something else, so I'm fine, I'm okay. So we interpret to our convenience. But that's okay too, because as you said, Krishna has said, I told you, now you do whatever you want.
Just to add, I think in the beginning when I was listening to Swami discuss, one day Swami, I was listening to Swami discuss, he said, a lot of people study here and go abroad. And he was kind of complaining. Then I was already worried, am I doing something wrong? So I was worried. And a couple of days later, I heard another discourse. When I send somebody outside, I want them to be my instruments and spread the word. Oh, it is connected. Okay, I'm happy. As long as I do his work, it's okay for me to stay outside. I'm kind of, but for a few days, it's kind of bothering me. Am I in the right path or am I doing wrong? But he clarified later. So it's what you said is complimenting. We should listen both together.
See, sometimes going away means you're going to another culture. You have accepted something foreign. As long as you have not left, even ambassadors in India also come and work in different countries.
Yeah.
So if you make yourself an ambassador, then it's okay.
Yeah.
You are still representing your home,
Original.
your country. So you don't give up your belief, your culture. Then you are still in India. At least in your, you are living there in your consciousness. I think that's more important, I think, which is what Swami says.
Brother, you said a good word, how this contradiction and how we have to look at it, the complementary way, really is something, really I really thank you for that, because sometimes this contradictions comes and we think about it and just leave it. Now, always you can think, okay, this is something Swami has saying something more to it, kind of you will start thinking from now on. Yeah. Thanks a lot. Sai Ram.
Sai Ram, Sister Sai. Yes, Sai Satish, please go ahead.
Ramana. I was just going to say that when Swami speaks, I think Swami says at the level of Ritam or the absolute truth, but I am situated on Nijam or Satyam level at a fact and my understanding of the truth. So I keep interpreting that based on the confines of time, Desha, Kala, Paristhiti, all of that. And so it appears as a dichotomy. But if we, like what you were mentioning, if a person does that sadhana and sincere effort to go deeper and look at it in the level of Ritam or the eternal absolute truth, the changeless truth, then it is always aligned with that. It is more that have I progressed to a level of going beyond Nijam and Satyam and look at it from a level of Ritam, then the perfect state of equilibrium exists. There is no dichotomy or conflict that appears. It's a seamless flow of the eternal truth. So at the level that which I am situated, I think the effort is needed to align with Ritam rather than look at just the level of Nijam or Satyam.
Thank you very much, Sai Satish. See, Swami has said externally it may look different. But it's a statement here itself we are saying. Externally they may look different. But at the deepest level, it's one. And it's our journey is to go to the deepest level and find the unity. So that is the Bharatiya culture also. That's what Swami has said. Very nice.
So we can never disregard anything that we read so we have to always somehow figure out how to
integrate.
Okay. Yes.
Constant integration.
We have to go back to the sentence previously Swami has stated and then connect this present statement with the previous statement. That we have to go now. Go on searching what he has said before. If at all we find any contradiction.
Or ask him directly, what do you mean by that? He will give you the answer.
Yeah, that's
give another statement to come to third one.
Yeah, means that is the advantage of having a guru who can help you wherever you are in whatever situation, whatever the confusion is, So you pray to Swami. If he has told you something, you practice it. If you have doubt, you ask him, he will provide the answer. If no one else can provide, he can always, and he will definitely. I think that's the assurance he has given. Whether you are in the mountain top or whether you're in the mid-ocean with a drowned Guttamir, like the nut. Very nice, as Swami has said. So wherever you are, he will come to our rescue to help. I think that's the advantage of. I think if we cultivate the deservedness, he will definitely come and help. Sarah. Okay, so very nice actually. Swami has this, even though he has talked about various religions, this and that, he has the ability to, uplift everyone, everyone belongs to that. And that is Sanatana Dharma, and that's why Swami has given it so much importance. Okay, so we can continue if it's okay.
Yeah. Another 10 minutes, I think. Yeah.
We'll just read, and contemplate, I guess.
Yeah.
Unless someone wants to share something, no one's. Okay, please read, Kalyan.
Another point, the source of all spiritual principles recognized and revered by Bharatiyas is God. He is the one supporting pillar. Therefore, no other support is needed for faith. Bharatiya spiritualism is the very foundation of all other faiths. It stands on the very summit. It has achieved victory over many opposing faiths, confronting them with many valid arguments and theories. Bharatiyas have no need to follow any religion or spiritual discipline besides their own, for nowhere else can you secure a discipline or truth that is not existing herein. Other faiths have only adopted some one or other of its beliefs and principles and placed them before people as ideals to be adopted.
Thank you, Kalyani. Maybe we'll read the Telugu also, Auntie.
Okay. ఇంకొకటి another
One
one.
more thing.
భారతీయుల యొక్క మత నిర్మాణం అంతటికి భగవంతుడే ఈశ్వరుడే మూలస్తంభమై ఉండగా,
So the God is the pillar, central pillar of the entire structure of Bharatiya religion.
మరొక దానిని విశ్వసించనక్కర్లేదు.
There's no need to have faith in anything else.
అన్ని మతములకు అధిష్టానమైన స్థాయిలో ఉన్నత శిఖరమున నిలిచిన మతము భారతీయ మతము.
The Bharatiya religion is at the supreme state or the highest state and supporting all the other religions.
ఈ మతమునకు విరుద్ధమైన ఆశయములు గల ఇతర మతములను భారతీయ మతము అనేక ఇట్ ఇస్ లాంగ్ లెట్ మీ రీడ్. ఈ మతమునకు విరుద్ధమైన ఆశయములు గల
ఇతర మతములను. For this religion, other religions which are opposed or contradictory in nature.
భారతీయ మతము అనేక స్థాయిలందు,
in many different stages, the Bharatiya religion has.
అనేక రీతులు ఖండించినది.
It actually has corrected them in many different ways.
భారతీయులు మరొక మతముల అనుసరింప పని లేదు.
Bharatiyas need not follow any other religion.
ఇందులో లేనివి మరే ఏ మతమునందు కానరావు.
What is not within this cannot be found anywhere else, any other religion.
భారతీయ మతమునందలి భావములనే,
from the Bharatiya Mata, the principles in the Bharatiya Mata or religion,
ఇతర మతములు ఆదర్శముగా వేరు వేరు రూపనామములతో అనుభవించుచున్నారు.
Other religions are also taken ideals from here and given different names and are following them.
Yeah. ఇతర మతముల వారు భారతీయ వైదిక మతమును అనుసరించవచ్చు. I think they have to stop.
Okay.
I think it's not given.
Yeah, that's all, I think.
Yeah.
So it's 4 minutes left, but Swami is stating very emphatically that the Bharatiyas, within that, they have all the other religious principles are present within the Bharatiya tradition, is what Swami is saying. Adhishtanam, I think very foundation is the way it translated. Bharatiya Mata is the Adhisthana for all the religions, so Swami said.
Whenever Swami speaks about Bharatiya Matam, it is Sanatana Dharma only, no?
Sanatana Dharma.
Yeah, he speaks about Sanatana Dharma.
Contingenu, I think here, confronting them with many valid arguments and theories. I think Swami has told in a very emphatically, they have corrected them, Contingent, I mean, they have, Bharatiya Mata has, means punished also, you can say, and contingent punished.
Contingent,
It's not.
To criticize.
Criticize.
Not accepting, right?
Criticize the word.
Criticize. Thank you, Auntie.
It could be disagreement, right? I mean, contingent, if you use a statement, contingent. So I'm not accept. I'm not
reject.
agree.
You can say reject, confute, or refute.
Yeah.
Criticize. Multiple meaning, no, brother?
Yeah.
I think that's why, he has, the translators, confronting them with many valid arguments and theories like that he has put, but I would say correct. I would put it that way.
No, contingent it means to put them down.
Put them down, no?
Put them down. Contingent.
So I think it's 4:28, 2 minutes left. I think everyone can contemplate and we can come and discuss. I think everyone will now wonder, how do we do this Sarvamata, some other, but we will discuss next week. We'll close for today with Samastaloka. Oh, next week there is Akhanda Bhajan.
Yes.
So we will not be having study circle. The week after we will continue, which is I think the 17th. I will continue. Okay, Sai Ram everyone.
Sai Ram.
Om Samastaloka Sukhino Bhavantu. Samastaloka Sukhino Bhavantu. Samastaloka Sukhino Bhavantu. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Sai Ram everyone.
Sai Ram.
Thank you.
Sai Ram.